Welcome, everybody. Thank you for coming. I wanted to talk about QAnon's reaction to the Trump assassination attempt. It is entertaining as hell to see the fascinating conspiracy theories they weave. And not only that, the conspiracy theories that they reject. They heard conspiracy theories that are legitimately false, like Trump staged the attempt, and they come up with logical, well-thought-out explanations for why it couldn't be the case. It's like, why don't they apply that logic in any other area of life? Anyway, I want to give it a watch. Have my green screen up today, so hope you guys don't mind that. I like this. I kind of made this, this background myself a little bit. Let me see if I can maybe... Hold on. Let's see if I can merge over and just give you guys an idea of what the background looks like. 1 second here. There you go. You should be able to see now. It's pretty cool, right? It's supposed to be a window in Manhattan with a moon and stars. None of these things fit together. But I thought it was a pretty thing. Additionally, I spoke with Mr. Atheist, Jimmy Snow, about how some settings on vMix, how to fix certain things, and I came up with, he explained how to do something really cool. So now, if I want, I can display messages from people. This one's from Green Cat. Cool background. Thank you so much. Let me just adjust my light because I feel like I'm very yellow at the moment. I can also just turn that off with the click of a button now, too. That's pretty cool. I like that a lot. So, anybody that wants a super chat... Oh, I'm on Twitch. And I can display Twitch messages. It's all, condensed. What do you call it? It's all, aggregated into the same place now, like all my social media stuff, so I can see everybody's messages from any platforms. Thank you, Van Briggs. I appreciate that. And then we've got Midnight here talking to somebody that's not me. Anyway, yeah, just turn that off. Anyway, that's cool, right? I think that's awesome, personally. And I can also add messages to the queue if I want, and then go through them all later. That's pretty metal, but that's not why you guys are here. You're here to listen to QAnon engage in some serious, deep-rooted nutter buttery. So let's do that, shall we? Hold on. Let me see where it starts. Is it here?
We are on YouTube. We're on the interweb. Want to
block those or Jordan.
Let me find where it starts. Hang on. Look at the advertisements along the bottom, dude. Oh my God. Let me make this a little bit bigger. Hold on. Make myself smaller here. Okay. I don't know if you guys can see the advertisement along the bottom. My Pillow's advertising. These two are QAnoners to the core. On the left is a woman named Mary Grace, and on the right is the Praying Medic, a.k.a. Dave Hayes. That's his actual name, Dave Hayes. That's what he goes by, Dave Hayes. Anyway, he writes like a book per month. Basically, he writes so much, it's ridiculous. And he's one of the most famous QAnon interpreters out there. Just kind of a quick rundown of what QAnon is, 30-second breakdown if people are unfamiliar. QAnon was created on 4chan, which is like Reddit, kind of, except it's more anonymous and it's full of scumbags. It works just like Reddit, basically, though. So there was a guy on there. They call each other Anons because they're anonymous. Everybody on 4chan is anonymous. So there's an Anon on there who went by Q Clearance Patriot. And he made this big, long post on, the main thing that claimed that he had Q Clearance, security clearance, which is the highest security clearance you can get. And it's only found in, the Department of Energy or something like that. And dude claimed that Hillary Clinton was about to be arrested and all kinds of other crazy things. None of it ever came true, of course. But it's all like really cryptic nonsense. Hang on, let me make myself blue. I think I like blue better. Maybe a light blue, not too light. Right, that'll work. Anyway, that's QAnon. It's a belief system that formed around this Q clearance patriot fellow. And he made all kinds of weird, sprawling, confusing claims that don't make any sense at all. And you had to have interpreters come in to kind of try to piece something out of it. And that's where Dave Hayes comes in. Right, I'm sorry. I'm still adjusting my lighting here a little bit. All right, that'll do. Let's see if I can pull up this video for you guys. Wait, is this? No, that's not the one. Hold on. I'm just looking for like a specific. Yeah, here we go. Okay. Cassidy Hutchinson, like forever ago during like the, what do you call it? Oh, God, the word is escaping me all of a sudden. During the January 6th hearings, Cassidy Hutchinson was like an aide to Mark Meadows, which is Trump's chief of staff. And she testified to the January 6th committee that Donald Trump was trying to go to the Capitol on January 6th, and Secret Service said, no, we're not doing that. It's not safe. And Q and all of his little QAnon followers went absolutely nuts over it. Turned rabid. And just, this should give you an idea of like what a Q post looks like. By the way, we are very confident that Q is Ron Watkins and his dad, Jim Watkins. We'll get to them in a minute, but just listen to this analysis by the praying medic of a Q post.
Who was posting in the middle of the night? Early this morning, we got a message on the board from Q. A little bit after midnight, Pacific time zone, Q posted this. What is at stake? Who has control? Surprise witness? Who was surprised? Who will be surprised? Use your logic. Can emotions be used to influence decisions? How do you control emotion? Define plant. How do you...
I mean, this is all obviously complete nonsense, right? Is it just me? It's very clearly some guy just trying to sound cryptic and succeeding at sounding cryptic and getting a whole bunch of poor fools to follow him and try to make sense out of it, like Jordan Peterson does, uses big words, and then people like dissect it and think they feel special or whatever for it.
You insert a plant. Can emotions be used to insert a plant? Who is...
No, a plant is green and it has leaves, okay? Emotions can't be inserted into that.
Used to insert a plant. Who is Cassidy Hutchinson? Trust a plan. Q.
So, yeah, that's a general Q post if you've never seen one before. And this is Q right here. This is the guy that does the posts. It started out as another guy named Paul Ferber on 4chan, but Paul Ferber was convinced to move the QAnon account over to 8chan, which is just like 4chan, except it has child sexual abuse material on it, too. Servers hosted in the Philippines by this fine-looking gentleman right here. And when they did move to 8chan, he took over. Writing style analysis, and a whole bunch of other things. The guy basically practically admitted that he's Q. He is Q. He administrates the servers that Q operates from. Anyway, he ran for office in Arizona back in 2022. Yeah.
My name is Ron Watkins, and I am not a politician. I am an entrepreneur, and I'm a computer scientist. We have to send a fighter, and I am your fighter. I am fighting for you. If you send me to DC, you will know that I will be fighting against this evil, and I will make sure that we drive them back, and I will make sure that your rights are kept.
Kept is an option, I suppose. I would have gone with protected, defended, whatever. To each their own, I suppose. Anyway, he's obviously trying to pretend to be a politician and failing miserably. Who would want to pretend to be a politician anyway? That is such a plastic, fake, terrible personality that you have to put on, or persona or whatever. He's just awful. Anyway, yeah, I have a whole thing about that. That's not what we're here to talk about. Dave Hayes, the guy who's doing the original Q analysis, is here to tell us what he thinks about Donald Trump's, whole thing. So let's listen to what he says here. Jump past the ads.
Like in the 70s and raining, it's perfect. It's like, it's me.
God, they're talking about weather. Like, who cares?
They're
Like, I want to hear about their opinion on Trump being shot.
making things up. They're using really what's going on.
Oh boy, here we go.
Media history. They're very hesitant to do video updates
Okay,
for what happened.
let me see where she asks a question.
All of the clickbait and the panic porn having to do with different theories coming out around
Theories.
this this situation. Do you want to add anything to that, Dave?
Oh boy, here we go. Okay, while we listen to this, we're going to play a game. It's basically Pokemon Fire Red, except it's a version where I can catch every Pokemon, like Mew and all of them. It's a ROM hack called Ultraviolet. So yeah, that should just be in the background. Won't bother you too much. You never played before. But let's listen. Oh yeah, and you know what? Since I have the opportunity, let me just highlight a few messages here. He talks like a male Julie Green from Luke. Yes, he absolutely does. Thank you so much for the message. Here's another one. Panic porn? That's all the right has to offer, from Seth. Yeah, 100%. Wait. Oh, I'm sorry. That's the wrong one. I picked Joe KNYC. Panic porn, the least popular version. I don't know. I think that might be the most popular. This is the one that I read a second ago. The post I found QAnon on was the same anti-Q subreddit that exposed him. Really? That's interesting. Anyway. Okay. Thank you guys for the messages. Also, Real Pumpkin J on Twitch. He talks just as cryptic as he posts. Yeah. It's so stupid. Anyway. All right. Let's listen to this stuff, shall we? Theories or Q-tips?
Yeah. When you asked me to go, if I wanted to go on a live stream with you, I don't know when that was. It seemed like a year ago.
A week ago.
I'm sure it was about a week. And you were asking about, I think you were asking about one of the Supreme Court decisions. I was like, I just didn't feel like it was a good time to go live on that issue because it seemed like
Oh my God, who cares?
Secret Service in particular was not forthcoming with information. There was a press conference, I think within 24 hours, Secret Service wasn't even there. It's all local cops. So.
Wait, Secret Service wasn't where? They were definitely where Trump was hit. Do you mean that Secret Service wasn't at a press conference? Okay.
I don't think it's helpful for me.
Oh, I'm sorry. Wait a minute. Nerical sent a member message, but it's not showing up on the thing. I wonder why. How long ago is it? I got to figure out how this works. So 8:37, 8:41. Okay, 3 minutes ago. It should be in here. Why am I not seeing it? Oh, that's super sad. Huh. CM says, I like big butts and I can't lie. Thank you for that apt analysis, CM. I really appreciate that. That's super weird. I can't find member messages. Maybe it'll be different with like super chats. I don't know. I'm just not familiar with how this system works yet. It'll take me time. But supporting you and the Feline Overlords for 22 months. Keep up the great work. Thank you so much, Nerical. Yeah, 100%. You've been around since I started streaming on Twitch, I think. Anyway, sorry. Let's continue.
to go on and do a live stream, do a broadcast, and weigh in on these issues when I don't know really what's going on.
Is he saying he doesn't like to talk about subjects unless he knows enough about them? Are you serious right now?
There's been a lot of, live streams on Twitter, the spaces, and people are asking me, "Hey, come on, we're going to talk about this and talk about that." And I'm like, "No, I'm doing research. I have to figure out what's going on."
Bro, are you real? Is this real right now?
So I've just been researching and digging and looking at what information is available, what information is coming out. Every time there's a news cycle like this, regardless of what the issue is, whether it's COVID or some other issue, it takes a while to figure out who the reliable sources of information are.
Okay, interesting. Well, when things like this happen, when somebody is attacked, or hell, COVID's another good example. We didn't know what was going on with COVID. We didn't know how to deal with it. We had no idea what it was or where it came from or what the side effects were or whatever at the time. And we were just feeling our way in the dark. Everybody together. We were all trying to figure it out. And there were no reliable sources really at first on anything. Everybody was guessing. And then peer review articles started coming out. We were still looking at like preprint papers though, like scientific papers that were done but not peer reviewed yet, We're just feeling our way through. There's nothing wrong with using the information we have tentatively until we have better information, as long as we make it clear that we are not 100% sure on whatever, thing we're claiming here.
Regardless of what the issue is, whether it's COVID or some other issue, it takes a while to figure out who the reliable sources of information are. Because in every crisis, in every big news story, you're going to find a lot of people online commenting on the issue. Probably 80% of those people should be ignored because they don't know what they're talking about. They're either making things up, they're using poor sources, they're
Listen to QAnon member Dave Hayes over here. Yes. Good job, bud. This is actually really interesting, though, because you guys remember when Henry Kissinger died? Maybe not, because it wasn't publicized like at all. It came out like, oh my God, this guy died. He was like the architect of the Vietnam War, complete monster, genocidal maniac. Awful in every way, that guy was. Bastion of the right wing. He was what was he? Was he the Secretary of Defense or Attorney General or something? Secretary of State, maybe, under Richard Nixon, I think. I could be wrong on that, but he was really high up, basically, in the military chain of command for making decisions. Anyway, he died. And there was complete and total dead silence. There was just a lull where nobody said jack shit until they were told what to think. They were waiting for Donald Trump to speak on his, reputation or whatever. Was he a good guy or was he a bad guy? Should I hate him or should I love him? Just waiting. And Trump never said anything. He didn't say he was good or bad. So he died in obscurity with no culture war BS to protect his reputation or destroy it. Fascinatingly. And that's why we don't remember when Henry Kissinger died exactly. But we do remember when, for example, Trayvon Martin died or George Floyd died or whatever, because people were upset over that and the right turned it into a culture war issue. The right started claiming that George Floyd deserved it and shit. You remember? So what he's describing is a phenomenon that, honestly, I've noticed, and I should name this phenomenon. I don't know what I'd name it, like waiting in the wings maybe or something, where these people just sit here and wait for the Republican Party, the leadership, to tell them what to think. And there's just dead silence until they do. Anyway, it's the same with like January 6th too. No one said a word about January 6th, good or bad, on the right for like months. And then they started chipping away at the, at the truth of the matter. Started trying to rehabilitate the January 6th people's reputations and everything. Fascinating.
Their sources don't exist, or their sources that exist don't have good information. There's a lot of that early on with the COVID thing, and then we started to get doctors coming out who were actually experts, subject matter experts, who were then teaching people and illustrating the finer points of virology and vaccines and all.
I assume he's talking about COVID now?
All that stuff. There was a lot of bad information early on in COVID.
Oh, absolutely there was, but I bet we totally disagree on which information was bad.
A lot of bad information with this shooting against President Trump. There's all kinds of people, like you said, trying to get clicks, trying to get engagement, because the more clicks, the more engagement you got. If you have a paid account on Twitter, you can make money off of it. And on Rumble and other things too. And
well, engagement and attention means money in a lot of ways. Like if you're an author, more attention means more book sales.
My deal is I don't care about making money off of this stuff.
Sure, I bet.
I have been 24/7 from the time I wake up in the morning till the time I go to bed at night, digging, researching, trying to figure out what happened, what did not happen, trying to debunk some of the claims. Well, one of the things that I would suggest when it comes to things like this is when you see someone making a fantastic a claim about something that they believe happened, go through a little bit of analysis and try to see if you can debunk what they're saying.
Dude, I love that this guy is a QAnoner. He is absolutely 100% correct so far. How the hell did he arrive at the QAnon position? I'm just like so baffled by this. And you know what? I'm just now realizing that my camera is not positioned correctly on the bottom. See if I can wait a minute. I need it. Yeah, there we are. Okay, we're good. Sorry about that. And let me see if I can just fix my, hang on. See if I have okay, yeah. Okay, I have a game capture thing, I believe, that I can set up. Well, let's keep listening while I adjust my game capture stuff.
If you can shoot holes, pardon the pun, not intended.
I will not pardon that pun.
If you can shoot holes, if you can punch holes in their theory, in their assertions, if they say this happened and this is the person who did it and here's why and here's the picture, here's the video.
Okay.
See if you can poke holes in that explanation. If you cannot debunk it, then put that in the category of, okay, maybe this is what happened. But if
I don't know what he's getting at here, but you should not assume it's true if you can't debunk it.
You can very easily, very quickly debunk something. You should just hang on to that. Now, here's an example.
I'm so like, what the hell is he going on about? And what is that weird noise in the background?
I saw a lot of people online posting pictures of a
what is she is she typing right now?
Water tower. And they're all insisting that this water tower has a black spot, some kind of a black object, like halfway.
She's typing. She's typing right now. That is what she is doing. How rude is that?
Between the
so like right into the microphone. I can't hear myself think.
Top and the bottom of the main part of the water tower, there's this black thing, and people are saying that thing was moving when they heard the gunfire on the video, and they're saying that's a shooter on the water tower. I'm like, really? Between like the top and the bottom of the round part of the water tower, there's this black thing that's moving.
Okay, when crazy events like this happen, you can assume that the things that like the crowd says are going to be inaccurate in the moment. Crowds don't really know what's happening. They don't have a 30,000 foot view or whatever. And things are like happening really, really fast. You just have to like wait and see to get accurate information. So yeah, of course there were a billion people saying a billion crazy things at the time. Sorry. I gotta adjust the... Okay. Yep, we're gonna zoom this out. And we're gonna fix it.
Well, I kept hearing people say that was a shooter because it was moving during the gunfiring. And I'm like, okay.
Right.
So number one, what you're suggesting is there is a person who's either rappelling halfway down the top of the water tower, and then they stop and lock off their rope on a figure eight, and they start firing while they're in mid-rappel, or they're...
Dude, where the hell is this skepticism for QAnon?
Or they're levitating or floating somehow 120 feet off the ground. Like, that doesn't make any sense.
Dude, I love that he has this skepticism because he believes equally as insane stuff, if not even more insane, when it comes to QAnon and what QAnon has to say. This is fantastic.
Right.
And
Yeah.
Oh, I guess she's done typing. Thank you.
People started coming up with better pictures of the water tower, and it's very clear there was a dark blue or black star on the water tower, and that's what people were seeing.
Yeah, I don't even know what he's talking about right now.
So now, with respect to the water tower shooter, because there's a lot of people that are saying that there was a shooter on the water.
Oh, yeah, I remember. There was a conspiracy that there were two shooters. I don't even know. I'm skeptical. That doesn't sound right. But who knows? Hey, there we go. Cade the Squirrel, thank you for the super chat. Check that out. It appears on here, and it just says super chat. So let me see if maybe I can search for... Let me see if I can search for Naricle's message. Hold on. Supporting you. Wow. Naricle's message doesn't show up. That's actually really surprising. Oh, that's okay. I mean, I can watch for it. No big deal. Anyway, okay, sorry. Just wanted to check that out. Let me just pop up Cade the Squirrel real quick. Thank you, Cade the Squirrel. I appreciate that. Marjorie Taylor Greene briefly had lucidity where she said the Republican Party is misogynistic. Maybe this is the start of an awakening, I assume. Wait, awakening for her? Probably not, but we can hope. Yeah, I think I heard some of that, and to my knowledge, the reason that she said it was kind of like I hear this kind of thing sometimes from the Republican Party. They'll say things like, the Democrats hate black people, and I care about the black community, when they very clearly do not give a shit about the black community, you know? They're using it against Democrats by saying that they care and Democrats don't, like nearly sarcastically, but it's kind of becoming real. Like they're really unironically claiming that they care about this minority group and the Democrats don't. Starts out as a troll and in their head ends up real. So anyway, yeah, I've seen some of that. That's kind of my impression with Marjorie Taylor Greene. It's a troll, but in her head, maybe it's real. Do you use the same super chat display as the line? Well, I use the same streaming software as the line. And, the same, basically everything as the line. And Jimmy Snow actually helped me, set up a whole bunch of this stuff. So, yeah. Just checking through. I will admit I usually watch his edited content, and he something. IAS? Anyway. All right, let's continue on here.
Water tower. And I'm going to have to go down this rabbit trail because...
Oh, please. Go down the rabbit trail. Says that's okay.
There are some things that people are saying in witness accounts that are worth considering, but you have to consider them, I think, in the right light. So, and I got into a long discussion 2 days ago on this subject on X, on Twitter, because people...
She's typing again. Are you kidding me with this? By the way, Real Pumpkin J, it's my 30-month anniversary. OMG, that is crazy. Thank you so much.
Just kept on putting these videos and images in my mentions and in my news, in my feed, and I was like, okay, I have to deal with this. So what I saw early on was people posting videos of interviews that the news had done with witnesses who said something about the water tower.
Okay.
Yeah, witnesses at these types of events are not trustworthy. You need to wait to get like footage and accurate information, which we did. But of course conspiracies are forming about this, that there are like 2 shooters and stuff. Seriously?
So, and I'm just going to jump right in and start to give you some methods that I use to arrive at the truth or the falsity of these various accounts.
Good.
So there's people posting these videos and they're saying, this person said there was a shooter on the water tower. Watch this video. This proves that there was a shooter on the water tower. I'm like, okay, I'll listen.
Yeah, so he's finding a bunch of conspiracies. Great.
Listen to the video. So I listened to it. And this one woman said, oh yeah, well, I saw somebody shooting toward the water tower. And I'm like, okay. So this woman's testimony was...
Is that what he said? He was like, okay. Okay. Thank you for noticing me. Oh, yeah, anytime, Real Pumpkin J.
She saw somebody shooting...
She's typing again.
...toward the water tower. And a lot of people online have said that is proof, that's an indicator that there was a shooter on the water tower because of this person's testimony.
Yes, we get it. People's testimony is not trustworthy. Good job.
I'm like, if you just listen to what she says, she's saying she saw someone shooting at the water tower. Okay, where was the shooter? Where was she?
Dude is dissecting like a whole situation when it's completely unnecessary. Like, who gives a shit? What is he even going on about right now? Wait, opting to believe conspiracies. Hang on. Let me see if I can send this. I had a 140 character limit previously. Let's see if this removes it. Yeah, there we go. Attempting to believe... Wow, I can't even read it. That's a shame. Attempting to believe conspiracies to explain public shootings allows someone to move on through their day as part of trying to explain something they don't have all the facts about. Yeah, I suppose that's true. That is true. And these people are like conspiracy gods, if you will. Like, they love conspiracy theories. And you know what? I'm just now realizing my game is not exactly centered correctly. I have to fix that. Sorry.
Was the person shooting at the water tower? Why would they shoot at the water tower? None of this makes any sense.
Yeah, I love it.
Okay. So that is one testimony that I've seen reported repeatedly saying that that's evidence that there was a water tower shooter. Now, there's another testimony out there from a woman who says she saw somebody, she said a sniper killed the shooter in the water tower.
Interesting.
Something.
Like, I'm sorry. Is she even listening to what he's saying? Like, she's typing and just periodically saying, interesting. I don't think she's even listening right now. That's funny. You know, I guess his audience, or her audience, is interested in all this, if nothing else.
To the effect of, I saw them kill the shooter or the sniper in the water tower. This woman thinks that she saw a shooter She said in the water tower. Maybe she meant on the water tower. And she believes that she saw the sniper in or on the water tower being shot by someone else. And so she doesn't describe where the shooter was, where either of the shooters were exactly, because she says in the water tower. And then we don't know who she's referring to as the one who killed the person in the water tower.
Dude, these people care so much about not trusting official sources. It's embarrassing. I'll tell you what I know about the situation, about the assassination attempt. Dude was sitting on a sloped roof with an AR-15, aimed it at Trump, and pulled the trigger. That's all. Like, there's no more to this that I really need to know. It's not important in any way, shape, or form. Like, why is he obsessing over this to the point where he's, like, quote-unquote, researching it for literal hours at a time? Like, this is crazy, bro. Get a life outside of conspiracy land. Like, go outside to the park, maybe. Walk along, like, the river and just check things out, you know. Enjoy the breeze on your face, maybe. I think that'd go a long way toward helping you. She's definitely not listening. Yeah, I know, right? Like, it's kind of embarrassing. Like, it pisses me off more than anything, maybe. When I'm trying to communicate with somebody, clearly not listening, not even, like, not looking. They're doing something totally different. And then there's a big, long pause. And they realize there's a big, long pause. And so they insert into that pause. Interesting. Or, really, you know? I realized then that you just did not give a shit about literally anything that I just said. Again, I suppose this is different because they're on, like, a public-facing platform. I mean, how many views does this video have? Allegedly 20,000 views. I don't fully trust Rumble's view count, but, you know. So I suppose there's a twist to her not paying any fucking attention to what her guest is saying, but whatever.
She doesn't really elaborate on any of that. And so this is another one of those testimonies where I'm like, okay, what are you even saying? What are you claiming? Are you claiming that you saw the sniper in the water tower die? How did you see them die if that freaking water tower is like a quarter of a mile away? I mean, even on high-res, zoomed-in videos, you can barely see any details on that water tower.
Seriously. The conspiracy theories this guy buys into are way less believable or credible. He's a QAnoner, so he thinks that there's like this sprawling conspiracy of elites that are drinking the blood of children to get a high off of it, like it's like cocaine or something like that. And they're like sticking straws into them like they're a Capri Sun or something. I mean, he gets real detailed with some of his crazy stuff. And he's like dissecting this thing about a woman believing there's a second shooter. Like, bro, dismiss it and move on with your life. Claims require evidence. If they don't have evidence, then dismiss it and move on. You know why he's so focused on this, I bet? It's probably because his community, the QAnon community, or even the far-right community, not even QAnon, is like, they can't accept it. They cannot let this go. They are laser focused on what's happening with this and believe that, like, the deep state is coming for Trump, and they, whoever they happens to be, set this whole thing up to hurt Trump or some other nonsense. As if they were powerful enough to do that. And if they were powerful enough to, you know, set up a sniper to take out Trump, then I'm sure they would be powerful enough to make sure the dude didn't miss. Or maybe that there would be multiple people that didn't miss. It's such a joke, dude. Yeah, I'm sorry, guys. I'm just now realizing that this screen is not exactly right still. I got to fix this. Sorry. We'll keep listening.
How was she, with unaided vision, she obviously didn't have binoculars, how would she be able to see someone on top of
Wait, how do you know she didn't have binoculars? To play devil's advocate.
the water tower, be shot and fall? Because a lot of the view to that water tower was obstructed from people who were there at the event. So I'm going through all of these claims by people, and I'm trying to kind of weed through what is testimony from a reliable witness and what is testimony from an unreliable witness. And I was trying to help people understand this. Like, just because you get a testimony from someone about what they believe they saw happen doesn't mean it's necessarily true. Let me give you an example.
Please give me an example.
As a paramedic, my job is...
Oh yeah, he was a paramedic. If you don't know his story, that's why he calls himself the praying medic. So he would, he was a paramedic for like 20 years or something, to my knowledge, according to him. And he would pray over people, and those people would turn out okay. And he taught other people, quote unquote, taught them. He wrote books about how to pray for food and have the food appear in front of you, basically. I'm not even joking or being hyperbolic. That's 100% real. Let's see if I can find one. Like a clip from him about this. One second here. When was the last time we talked about this? It was like, there was a period of time where Q went away. Like, he just stopped posting. Q did. Hold on. And the praying medic, Dave Hayes, got, like, progressively more and more pissed off that Q just stopped posting after Trump lost the 2020 election. And we get clips like this.
No one has been more pissed off at Q than me.
By the way, this is 2022. It's early February 2022. Obviously, the dude's back into QAnon now. I'm sure I don't even need to say that, but he gave up on QAnon for a while.
For the 3 years we sat through of waiting for the arrests, thinking that the arrests were just around the corner, like it was just going to happen, and this next week we're going to see people arrested, and it never happened. So I have as much frustration as anyone does about how long we've been waiting for the arrest to happen. However, Q did warn us on the front end of the conversation that a lot of what he was going to put out was going to be disinformation.
Oh my God, dude. He cannot accept that he got sucked into a ridiculous conspiracy. And I don't mean got sucked in. I mean he's a leader of the movement. I don't mean like he's on the fringes like, oh, this guy believes some weird stuff. Okay, whatever. No. People follow him, okay? He has like tens, hundreds of thousands of followers, maybe. Lots. Here's what he decided to get into when Q disappeared for like a year. It was after 2020, after the election, so 2021, when Biden was inaugurated, there was radio silence. Nothing. And then Q started posting again. I heard rumors. I don't know if it's true. Probably not. But there were rumors that the QAnon account was for sale for $1 million on, some of the, like, the underground areas that I kind of troll for information on what's happening on the right. Again, I don't know if that's true, but this happened about 6 months or so after Q disappeared. So July 2021, I'd say. And after the praying medic, started to finally accept that Q wasn't coming back and that everything that he said was nonsense, then he started talking about this stuff right here. This one is from May 6, 2022.
Right. So back in November, like I said, I switched to teaching primarily about healing, food multiplication, deliverance, and a lot of
Switched away from QAnon.
other related issues, because God was telling me, look, I need you to get on this. We need to get people trained and equipped so they can work miracles.
Bro, God was not telling you jack shit, okay?
Because I want to respond to this crisis in a specific way, and people need to learn how to do this. So, I do believe we're going to see food shortages worsen. I think we're going to see higher gas prices. It wouldn't surprise me at all if we see $10 a gallon gas. But,
Wow.
If suddenly gas is $11, $12, $13 a gallon, you can pray over your gas tank and God will make that gas last for 2 weeks.
He is 100% for real with this, okay? Absolutely 100% serious.
Yeah.
Right.
You- You can pray over your gas tank and not have to fill it up for a whole week. I mean, you have to fill it up first, and you have to only drive, enough that it would only use like 10 gallons, but you can drive for a week on that gas tank. Let's see. Here's another one. Yeah, here we go. Wait, is this? No, this is a different one, right?
And the car would start to sputter, and he'd look back to see, hey, who's not praying in tongues back there? And so they kick it back in, and the car would keep going. And I know he wasn't making this up, There are people that
He had a friend who was driving across the country, and the car would start sputtering because it was out of gas, and he'd get back there and pray in tongues, and kick the car? Is that what he said? He'd kick the car and pray in tongues, and suddenly, just like that, there was gas in it again. What?
live that, you go, how did that, and we've discovered when you pay out your tithe and you're generous and tithing and offerings, it's amazing how far the money goes.
Oh, please.
Yeah, no, it is. And I have a lot of friends who have seen miraculous multiplication of gas, I would call it. They've driven across the country on an empty tank of gas.
Wow.
This is real.
Literally, like all the way across the country and never filled up their car.
These people are 100% serious with this nonsense. This is straight up embarrassing. These people are embarrassing. Hold on, I'm just looking through the chat here. Here we go. Yashi Stampedes. He should lose. I'm sorry. Wait, I lost it. He should lose his medical license for pushing misinformation and pushing faith over medical attention that's needed by someone seeking medical help. Well, to my knowledge, he doesn't do that anymore. Like, he's not an EMT anymore. He switched to writing, and he's written like a book per month for like 5, 10, 15 years, like forever. He's, his books aren't like particularly good, and they don't sell particularly well. But, you let's say after costs of, I don't know, let me think for a second. Well, if you upload to Amazon and you do it on Kindle and everything, your costs are really low. And if you do your own editing, everything else, your costs are nearly zero. So let's say he's making like $5 per book. So he sells like 200 copies of a book per month. Oops. That's $1,000 a month. Say he has like 12 books that are selling, 10, 20, 30 copies a month in addition to that. It's a living. And it can be a pretty good living if you do it right. But that's where he started. After leaving like the paramedic stuff, that's what he started doing. His wife does the same thing. And the QAnon thing like made him kind of explode, made his books blow, because he was so like well known in the world, in the QAnon world, that is. So anyway, that's the praying medic and some of the more egregious, ridiculous beliefs. After leaving QAnon behind, gets into You know you can multiply gasoline by praying in tongues in the back of your car? After moving from QAnon, he went to that. And after leaving that, he went right back to QAnon. Like an addict to a drug. Just sad. Honestly sad. Anyway, keep listening to him try to dissect all of the conspiracies around Trump's assassination attempt here.
To interview witnesses to shootings, stabbings, motor vehicle accidents, plane crashes, bus crashes, all kinds of stuff.
So he's talking about what happened when he was a paramedic, I think, right?
Believe they saw happen doesn't mean it's necessarily true. Let me give you an example. As a paramedic, my job is to interview witnesses to shootings, stabbings, motor vehicle accidents, plane crashes, bus crashes, all kinds of stuff. We have to go, one of the things we have to do on scene is we have to interview the victims and occasionally the witnesses and find out what happened. You were there, you were in the accident, you saw the accident, you were the driver,
Yeah, absolutely. And eyewitness testimony, oh, I'm sorry, I forgot to turn that off. And eyewitness testimony is the least reliable form of evidence just about that you can get. It is so worthless. Eyewitness testimony is different. You have 7 different witnesses. They tell you 7 different stories. You can see a prime example of that from the gospel accounts in the Bible. 4 different stories. 4 people, 4 different stories completely. You know? Just ridiculous, man. We've got Truncusa Gray Words. Stebbings. Thank you. Stebbings. Yes, that's correct. Lumi says, so if I pray over my gas tank, the estimated fuel range gauge will magically go up. I think so. You have to pray in tongues, though, to my knowledge, and you have to be a believer in Jesus or whatever, so. And then we've got Kavitka saying, Rotfulamau. I appreciate that, absolutely. Rotfulamau. I agree. Just looking. Hang on. Oops. Wait, did I just die? No, I didn't. Okay, I'm just holding the button down because I'm reading messages. Just throw stuff at the wall, see what sells a few copies. Yeah, that's what he does. Really. I discovered when I was writing my book that it takes a really long time to write a book well. And to this day, I don't feel like I wrote my book particularly well, although I've been told by others that I did a really good job with it. I feel like I was kind of sprawling and moved from subject to subject a little bit too quickly without context for why I was switching, things like that. There were some grammatical errors and stuff that I tried to fix later. It's hard, really, really hard to write a book well. But if you just don't give a shit, like he doesn't seem to, you just bust out a book per month and make money off of it and whatever, It took me 10 days to write my book, 10 days. And then it took another 3 months to clean it up, to edit it, to erase parts that didn't belong and to rearrange places and, plan printings and all of it. It took 3 months after the words were on the page. That's not even the hard part, getting the words on the page. That's the easy part. So the fact that he busted out a book per month in the first place should tell you something about the quality of the book.
Passenger, a witness, what happened? So sometimes we'll have to interview more than one person. And if you work in law enforcement, this is your job. You get to interview witnesses and victims. And what you'll find out is that if you interview 10 people who were witnesses to the same event, you're going to get 10 different stories about what happened.
Yeah.
You're going to
She is not listening. This whole time, she hadn't said a word I guess she learned to mute her mic when she types, so that's a plus. But she's periodically just saying, wow, yeah, interesting. She is not paying a lick of attention, is she?
Find 80 to 90% of the people who will agree on the basic facts of the event, and then you're going to find 10 to 20% outliers who will disagree on the basic facts of the event and have a significantly different account of what happened.
That makes sense, yeah.
Right? So,
ooh, she decided to start paying attention again. Now she's going to interrupt.
So, and here's I'm almost done. And here's what happens. Some people just process things differently.
Nice. Let us know when you publish it. What is your book about? Thank you, Van Briggs, for the question. Already published. It can be found on Amazon. Although if you want like more places to find it, owenmorgan.com. I'm sure you've probably heard this. I say it all the time. owenmorgan.com. You can find the book there. You can get signed copies. You can get digital copies. The audiobook is out on Audible. You know, it's all over the place. So, yeah. Real Pumpkin Jay's book. Okay. Yeah, that makes more sense. Sorry. Ignore me. Thank you, Van Briggs, for the message there. And Real Pumpkin Jay for the clarification. Anyway, right, let's keep listening.
Depending on your viewpoint, your vantage point, depending on your life experiences, your mind can actually take that event and transpose upon that event false memories of things that didn't actually happen.
Yeah, I don't talk about this a whole lot, but my mom was a victim of false memories. I pinned a link to my book, by the way. In fact, you know what? I think I might have told this story in my book, come to think of it, but when I was 6 or something, my mom was having deep mental problems, and she needed to see a therapist desperately. And Jehovah's Witnesses are opposed to therapy, or they were at the time at least very opposed to therapy, so she didn't go to a therapist. She talked to another Jehovah's Witness named Sandy. And Sandy basically pulled memories out of her head. She said, okay, now close your eyes and we're going to try to remember some things. And she said, now what do you see? And my mom would say, I see a bird. And she'd say, now where is that bird? It's in my parents' yard. And now what's inside at your parents' house? And, you know, she did that. She'd draw it out. And she drew out from my mom memories of my grandfather doing horrific things, like murdering people and sexually assaulting them and just really, really, really bad stuff. And it was so real that she got the police involved, which is kind of a no-no with Jehovah's Witnesses at the time, certainly. And the police showed up with, like, scanning equipment because she was very specific in her claims about, like, you know, he put them in barrels and he buried them in his yard and she knew exactly where they were and everything. They show up with scanning equipment and found nothing. Because false memories are as real memories. People don't, you can't tell the difference. That's why you don't do that. You don't try to pull memories out of people like that. You can't tell if they're real or fake. My grandfather was completely innocent. He didn't do shit to anybody his whole life. And she just drug his reputation through the mud. It was really sad, but, you know, he forgave my mom nearly instantly after going to, like, a college course on false memories and how they work and everything. Anyway, from my understanding, memory is really shoddy because when you remember something, you're not remembering the event, to my knowledge. You're remembering the last time you thought about that event. So I go to, like, a barbecue and I get, like, a glass of punch or something and I see a friend over by the table. Well, 2 months later, I think about that. I forget that there was punch involved. And when that comes back up, I don't remember the punch because I'm remembering the previous time or the previous memory of it. It's obviously much more complex than that. I'm simplifying it dramatically, but false memories are super easy to form, and memories completely untrustworthy, completely. Oh, hey, check it out. So emojis show up kind of on this system that I'm using to like display messages. And check it out. This is what the emoji looks like. Hello, chill W cat. That's interesting that it shows that. Anyway, sorry. Let's continue.
And I'm not going to go into the psychology of false memories, but
as if he knows jack shit about it.
But there are some people who simply do not recall things accurately. I have sat around with my brothers and sisters and talked about events that happened at family reunions and things that have happened. And I listened to their account and I think, were you even there?
Yeah, like people will remember the exact opposite thing happening. They will remember seeing you pick up a pair of keys and put them in your pocket when you absolutely did not. It's weird how memory works, seriously.
Because it's definitely not what I saw happen.
Yeah.
That's not what I remember happening. They describe it completely differently. So I'm saying all of this to simply say this. Just because someone says they heard or saw something happen, it doesn't mean that they are a reliable witness. A lot of these people are unreliable witnesses.
Like his entire worldview and the thing that got him famous was his trust of an anonymous jagoff. So just some guy who claimed to have security clearance and very clearly switched at some point in time. Like the original Q poster, Paul Ferber, was reserved and more conservative in the way that he posted things. Not politically conservative, but just like more careful about the things that he said. And when it switched over to 8chan, it became flamboyant and obnoxious and just like unhinged. Exclamation marks all over the place, you know, and like just putting exclamation, exclamation, 1 exclamation. It was crazy. It was very clearly a different person entirely. But this guy didn't seem to accept that. He's sitting here telling us about why he doesn't trust conspiracies about Donald Trump's assassination attempt, but completely forgetting that what he's saying invalidates his entire life. I love everything about it. You should make a collection of canned explanations for stuff that you explain over and over. Yeah, that would be useful, but it's like only 5% of the audience watches consistently. The average number of videos that people on my channel and nearly every YouTube channel watch is 2.5. So I release, you could say, 3 videos per week on this channel, including my live stream. I release 4 videos per week on my Fireside channel and 5 to 7 on my Unfiltered channel. If I haven't explained it in the past 7 days, statistically, the people listening haven't heard it. And if it's relevant to the conversation, I feel it's important to talk about it, you know, to bring it up. At least give like a basic rundown. Anyway, I've been watching you since you had under 10 videos up. Really? Have you? Real Pumpkin J? That's crazy. Wow, dude. I wonder who, like, my longest watching viewer is. That might actually be it. That might take the cake. And we get the full raw video on Twitch. That's true. You get the full raw video on YouTube also, but I unlisted on YouTube. Anyway. All right, I got to get out of here, unfortunately. I was hoping to hear more of this. I didn't hear enough. But we'll probably be watching more of this later. Let me just close this segment up. Anyway, I'm sorry. Anyway, let me know what you think about these people. in the comments. I love how compartmentalized their thinking is. It is so entertaining. If you want to see more of this or other stuff, Owen Morgan Unfiltered YouTube channel, link in description. Wednesday and Thursday mornings, 10:30 a.m. to 2:30 p.m. If you missed the live stream, I upload cleaned up, edited versions of the videos. If we don't watch this tomorrow, I'll take a poll. It's either going to be the rest of this video or... Common enemy. Nope, not that one. No, wait. This.
We're about to go for a ride.
Okay, this guy. Oh my God. Let me just tell you about this guy real quick. Ooh, and remove that from the screen. Sorry. I got to remember. This is Kim Clement on screen, and he's famously like the prophet who prophesied that Donald Trump was going to be the president. He's the basis for the claim that Trump is like the Messiah, basically. He didn't actually prophesy Trump was going to be president. I'm sure I don't even know to say that. But anyway, it's between this and the previous video. This video that he did is called The Trump Prophecy, I believe. Hey, quit it, you. Cat trying to eat my green screen. And, oh, God, it's so entertaining. The dude is acting like he's on coke. It's weird.
About to go for a ride.
I mean, you can respect somebody that's beating the hell out of you, but they are beating the hell out of this country.
It doesn't matter whether you're a Democrat or a Republican. Look, those terms flew the coop a long time ago.
That right there, what he just did, makes me think that he's on coke. For real.
And everybody knows it.
Yeah, so it's between the praying medic and this, probably. If somebody has something even better to watch, and we can hit that.
Plan. And a hand comes, as it were, right out of another dimension.
Oh my God, he interviews people on this too. I saw some of it. And tell me what you think about it in the comments. Let me know what you want to watch tomorrow in the comments. Let me know if you guys want to see other stuff, if you have any other ideas. And I hope to see you guys tomorrow on my Unfiltered channel, okay? Oh yeah, let me hit Twitch real quick. I got some activity. Hamather C1G, thank you for the sub. For some reason, the sub doesn't show up on my social thing. Real Pumpkin J, thank you for the sub. I got a joke and a fun fact, so let me just hit those real quick. All right, one joke, one fun fact. And I got a fountain pen from somebody recently, so that's cool. Get to use the fountain pen. One joke, one fun fact. Wait. Cool. Why did the math book look so sad? Because of all of the problems. That's bad. That is bad. All right, fun facts never fail me. See. Crocodiles don't have sweat glands. In order to cool themselves down, they keep their jaws open. Interesting. Knowing is half the battle, as they say. Anyway, thank you guys so much for coming. It's been fun. Hopefully I'll see you guys tomorrow morning. If not, I will see you next week, okay? And have a good one, everybody.